What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again today, and today we're gonna take a look at the 2022-23 Stanley Cup champions, the Vegas Golden Knights. I did this video last year with the 2021-22 Colorado Avalanche. It's basically just a rerun of what this team was made out of and who did stuff for them this year. I know the board looks a little blurry. I'm not sure why that is. I've tried to wipe the camera. I'll do it again. Don't mind my thumb. Wipe it there, and maybe it helped a little bit, I can't really tell. But, yeah, a lot of green marker. It's the darkest marker I have right now since I'm out of black. I need to go get some black markers. And also, it's going to be one of my last two videos before I take a week-long vacation, as I will be out of the country for the next week or so, starting on Tuesday. So, maybe you'll get a video in out there, maybe not, probably not, we'll see. Depends on if there's any news. So the Vegas Golden Knights in 2022-23 went 51-22-9 with 111 points. First in the Pacific, first in the West, fifth in the league. They were 14th in goals for 272 and 11th in goals against with 229, so not top 10 in either. And coming into this season, no one expected Vegas to win the Cup. Year one, they lost in the Stanley Cup Final in 5 as the expansion team. Incredible. Year 2, they lose in the first round in 7 games in a completely BS call. We all know it was BS. San Jose fans, if you don't think that's BS, still I don't know what that was. You don't allow 4 goals on a 5-minute power play, but still that was such a BS call. And if that's a 2-minute, Vegas wins that game going away. 2020, they lose in the conference finals to the Dallas Stars, who they get their revenge against. And then 2021, they are upset in the conference final by the Montreal Canadiens in the 2021 playoffs. 2022, they're injured to hell and back, and so they miss the playoffs. But the Blackhawks, ironically, beating them in the Game 81 and eliminating them from playoff contention. So, looking at this here, we got our regular season and we got our postseason. We got all the goalies from this season, and we're going to go through it all. So, the person that led them in scoring this year only played 67 games, and that was Jack Eichel. What a comeback for Eichel from Buffalo. He was absent most of last year with the herniated disc surgery. Comes back, looks a bit pedestrian, but still does well. And this season, 67 games played, 27 goals, 39 assists, 66 points. Just about a point a game. Stevenson was in second, 81 games, 16 goals, 49 assists, 65 points. What a pick out of Washington. My boy Jonathan Marchessault, 76 games, 28 goals, 29 assists, 52 points. Riley Smith, 78 games played, 26 goals, 30 assists, 56 points. Alex Pietrangelo, 73 games, 11 goals, 43 assists, 54 points. My boy William Karlsson, 82 games, 14 goals, 39 assists, 53 points. Karlsson is nowhere near the player he was in 2018 when he had 43 goals. He's now developed into a fantastic two-way player instead, which is just as good for Vegas. It fits their play style. Theodore, 55 goals. He had 55 goals. Most defenseman goals in I don't know how long. 55 games played, 8 goals, 33 assists, 41 points. So you have misfits 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the top 6 there. Stone, your team captain, only played 43 games. However, in those games, 17 goals, 21 assists, 38 points. Phil the Thrill Kessel, continuing his Ironman streak, 82 games, only played 4 in the playoffs, 14 goals, 22 assists, 36 points. He says he wants to come back one more year. I say let him get his 1,000th point, continue the Ironman streak, and let him retire. So Nick Wathen, 65 games played, 14 goals, 16 assists, 30 points. Michael Amadio was a waiver claim, was a big waiver guy a couple of years ago now. Comes into Vegas, and he slots perfectly in as a bottom 6 guy. 67 games played, 16 goals, 11 assists, 27 points. And then William Carrier, 5 of the 6 misfits on the board, 56 games played, 16 goals, 9 assists, 25 points. For the goaltending, Logan Thompson leads them in the goaltending in the regular season. 37 games before getting injured, goes 21, 13, and 3 with a .915 save percentage, 2.65 goals against. Aiden Hill then is second. He was the backup, or should have been Brazois, but we'll get to why it wasn't. 27 games played, 16, 7, and 1, 915 save percentage as well, with a 2.45 goals against. Brossoit in 11 games played, 7, 0, and 3. That is why he was the starter in the playoffs. He came back from injury and was fantastic. With 927 save percentage, 2.17 goals against. And then, of course, Columbus Blue Jackets legend Jonathan Quick gets traded to Vegas at the deadline. Goes from LA to Columbus to Vegas in the span of about a day. 10 games played, 5, 2, and 2. Saved a bit of his record in Vegas with a 901 save percentage and a 3.13 goals against. And then Patera, who came in for 2 games. So 5 goalies used during the regular season. 2 games played, 2 wins, no losses whatsoever, 929 save percentage, and a 2.50 goals against. Moving on to the playoffs. They beat the Winnipeg Jets in 5 games, 4 games to 1. They lose 5-1 in Game 1. Yes, the champions started their Game 1 with a loss in the playoffs. Then they then won 5-2, 5-4 in double overtime. That was a huge win. If they lose that game, I think they lose the series. 4-2 and 4-1. So they win 4 straight and to eliminate the Jets. They then beat They beat Edmonton in Game 1 of their series 4-2 before being beat. Wait, no, they won the series 4-2. What am I thinking? I was about to say that doesn't sound right. They beat the Oilers in 6. They win the series 4-2, and they win Game 1 of that series 6-4 to have a 5-game winning streak. They lose Game 2 5-1, and then they go to Edmonton and win 5-1. They had home ice in all of these series, so they're up 2 games to 1 before going to Then they lose in Edmonton 4-1, and then they come home. They win 4-3 and go to Edmonton and win 5-2. They eliminate the Oilers in 6 and ruin my bracket. Then they go and play Dallas. It's a revenge story from 2020 when they played each other in the conference finals. Dallas won that series in 6. Vegas should have won this series in a sweep, but they made it hard on themselves. They beat the Stars in 6 games, 4 games to 2. They win 4-3 in overtime in Game 1. That was Brett Howden, I believe, with the OT winner. It was Michael Amadio in the first OT winner in the double OT game against Winnipeg. They only lost in OT once. They then win 3-2 in overtime. That time it's Chandler Stevenson, both goals within 3 minutes of the starting of overtime. They win 4-0 then as they go to Dallas, and they're up 3 games to none. Joe Pavelski gets the winner in Game 4 as they lose 3-2 in overtime. And then they come home and lose 4-2. So all the 3 games to none comebacks are like, okay, this might happen. And of course that was happening with the Miami and Celtics as well, the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Boston came back from 3 games to none just to lose in Game 7. But Vegas takes care of Dallas, and Dallas real quickly. They win 6-0. Destroyed them. And of course the iconic moment of that series is Jamie Benn getting suspended for trying to kill Mark Stone and being a Jack you-know-what. Of course, Pietrangelo was suspended a game in the Edmonton series, and Theodore was hurt for a game as well. So a couple missed games throughout the playoffs, and Amadio was in and out of the lineup going into the Dallas series. But yeah, so 6-0 win for Vegas in Game 6. Dallas 0-4 with Ben in the lineup, 2-0 without him, not insignificant. And one of my least favorite players got what he deserved, so we'll go with that. Florida Panthers now in the Stanley Cup Final. 8th seed in the East comes all the way and fights the number 1 seed in the West. Vegas made it look easy. They win 4-1 in Game 1 and win 5-2 they win the series in 5 games. They win the 4-1. They win Game 1 5-2. They win Game 2 7-2. And now they go to Florida where they lose 3-2 in overtime. Kachuk ties it late, I believe. Yes, Kachuk tied it late, and then Verhaeghe gets the winner in that one. And then they win 3-2 as they're up 3-0, and Florida charges back, first off a bad deflection, double deflection, and then Florida scores again early in the third, but they're able to hold on. And then in Game 5 at home, they win the Stanley Cup with a 9-3 victory. Mark Stone with a hat trick. And of course, what happened during this run that I didn't mention that you're probably screaming at me for? Adin Hill comes in after the 5th win. As Brossoit gets hurt, Hill comes in and he steals the show for the rest of the playoffs. And we'll talk about that some more. Playoff scoring. Jack Eichel leads the way. 22 games played, 6 goals, 20 assists, 26 points for Jack Eichel. Bet he's glad to be out of Buffalo. Marchessault, 22 games played, 13 goals, 12 assists, 25 points. That is your playoff MVP. First undrafted player since Wayne Gretzky, but that's an exception because that's WHA stuff. First undrafted player to ever win the Conn Smythe Trophy, and congrats to him. Mark Stone didn't play much in the regular season, played all of her game in the playoffs. 22 games played, 11 goals, 13 assists, 24 points, including the 3 goals hat trick in the Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. Stevenson, 22 games played, 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points. Barbashev, I forgot to mention Barbashev on this side. Barbashev in 23 games, it was acquired at the deadline. In 23 games in the regular season with Vegas, 6 goals, 10 assists, 16 points. And then in the playoffs, 22 games played, so 1 less, 7 goals, 11 assists, 18 points. If Vegas doesn't re-sign Barbashev, I will be very upset. He fit perfectly in their lineup. William Karlsson, 22 games played, 11 goals, 6 assists, 17 points. Riley Smith, 22 games played, 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points. Shea Theodore, 21 games played, injured for one of them, 1 goal, 12 assists, 13 points. Nick Waugh, 22 games played, 3 goals, 8 assists, 11 points, including the last goal of the season. Amadio, 16 games played, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points. When he was in, he was good. Brent Howden, who wasn't on this side of the board, 22 games played, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points. And then Alex Pietrangelo, who is suspended for 1 game, so he plays 21 games, 1 goal, 9 assists, 10 points. For goaltending, Aiden Hill leads the way. 16 games played, 11-4 with a .932 save percentage, stole the show. 2.17 goals against. And then Brisebois, before he gets injured, 8 games played, 5 wins, 2 losses, .894 save percentage. So he was already trending downhill with a 3.19, doesn't really matter, goals against. So those are your Vegas Golden Knights, and now I'm going to pause the video and just showcase the reason I'm not wearing a jersey in this video. The answer is because I got them all right here. I just wanted to showcase them off because why not? I got all the Vegas jerseys now, and this is why I'm not wearing them because I don't want to change in and out of them every single time. So we'll start with my boy, Jonathan Marchessault in the gray jersey. This is a Adidas. Doesn't really matter. I'm not doing a jersey history video today, so we'll just throw it to the side. Then we have my Fanatics white jersey with Marc-Andre Fleury on the back. You'll see there. If I could turn it around. I don't remember actually if I showed Marchessault up to the camera, so I'll do that real quick. There we go. The 81 and 29. Those are the first 2 I got. I got them in release order. And of course, what came next was the gold. So we have the gold jersey, and don't mind my Xbox on in the background. We have my gold jersey, once again at Adidas. William Karlsson, right there, 71 on the back. And then I got my first reverse retro, once again at Adidas. There you go, William Karlsson, once again on the back. So pretty solid there. And finally, my light up one. Can't really light it up in this light up atmosphere, but got my second reverse retro 2.0 with Eichel on the back. So there you go. Until the Winter Classic next time, that's all my Vegas jerseys there. And just wanted to show them off because why not? They won the Stanley Cup. They're Stanley Cup champions. They're my second favorite team. Celebration. Other than that, guys, other than me hunched over in this position, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.